I'm going to be doing a review of Valley of the Kings, the 18th Dynasty by Terence Coffey, sorry. So, beautiful cover. Let me read the back of it. After the untimely death of his older brother, 6-year-old Prince Amenhotep IV becomes the unlikely heir of the Egyptian throne, most powerful, the most powerful kingship of the ancient world. By the time he becomes pharaoh over a decade later, the growing influence of the wealthy and corrupt Amun priesthood threatens to undermine his sovereignty. Despite the despite oh sorry. Desperate to maintain power, Amenhotep outlaws the Amun religion, renames himself Akhenaten, and proclaims himself the living incarnation of a single all-powerful deity, the Aten, or sun. With the help of his headstrong mother, Queen Tai, and his beautiful wife, Nefertiti, Akhenaten erects a new capital in the desert city and entices thousands of citizens to uproot their lives and join him there. But the magnificent new capital harbors a host of new threats, betrayals, curses, conniving relatives, murderous jealousies, plagues, famine, hidden heretics, and foreign enemies. Inspired by Hittite and Armenian letters of the 14th century BCE, Valley of the Kings, the 18th Dynasty, is a novel of intrigue, passion, betrayal, resurrection, thrilling story of a singular leaders whose beliefs are both visionary and disastrous. And let me be the first to say that synopsis doesn't do the book any justice. This book is phenomenally written. It is intriguing right from the get-go. It grabs you right from the get-go. You have no time to rest, and it brings you through this story way before you think that you can do it. When I picked up the book, I was actually kind of worried, because, I mean, look how thick it is, and I'm one of the slower readers out there, and I just flew through this book. There were times where I was trying to rush home from work just so I could read. I really think that this author should consider doing one of these books for like the Aztec or for the Maya, even thinking of the lost city of Atlantis. He needs to go through all of these ancient people and put his spin on things for all of the ancient people. Apparently there's another book on this. This is a trilogy, and I'm desperate to get the rest of these. The moment that I have enough money in my paychecks, I'm going to go order the next one of these, because this book was way beyond what I expected. Now, I do like history. I've always liked history, and that's probably a lot of what I'm enjoying about the book. But even if you don't, it has all of the elements of a really good story. There's a character in here that I absolutely pitied throughout the entirety of her life. And the women were he did such a good job of making the women in the stories set off as the lesser than the men kind of thing, but at the same point he made each and every one of these women characters powerfully strong and conniving, some of them, but even though they're conniving, you're kind of going for them because they had a right to be the way they were. And the intrigue in through it, and the mystery. There's a part in here that I really want to know what happened through, and he doesn't let us know, and that irks the heck out of me, because I like to have, you know, a nice closed finish, but it's real, you know. The title, or the cover, is beautiful, and this amulet is part of the entire story, so he couldn't have picked a better cover for it. The book itself is written really well. The page breaks, what I really like, so you see your chapters here. Hope you can see them. The chapters have that little squiggle thing, so that your page breaks, when you're getting different points of view, tie in to that squiggle thing of your chapters, which makes the whole book flow better. Plus, your chapters aren't so incredibly long that you feel that it's an effort to get through each chapter. So I enjoyed that about it. And I won this one from the Goodreads giveaway. So what I really also liked about the book, first of all, it's signed. I have so few copies of signed books, so I really treasure that. But it also came with a little paper here that I also used as the bookmark. But it was so nice to get, you know, a little paper about it. It says, "Congratulations, Aaron." And not only that, "Congratulations, Aaron," and my name is spelt right. That's huge for me, because everybody thinks that it's just one N. Thanks so much for entering my Goodreads giveaway. I hope you enjoy the book, and we'll post your feedback. Best regards, Terence. This little thing, this little typed up thing that, you know, they probably did a whole bunch of them and cut them up and put them in the book, it means a lot because it says, you know what, I acknowledge that you are going to read this book and I really want your feedback. And to have somebody who actually wants to hear what you think is pretty darn cool. So I like that about the book. It was just such an intriguing, good read. And I think even the ones that are not into history will enjoy the story of it. And I really do think that he needs to consider doing like the Mayan and like all the other ancient civilizations. I think that his outlook on this is just, it's so different and it's so cool and it's so real. It's almost like they were going into his head and saying, okay, this is what I think, you need to write it down. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a really good book, and it was a really good book that I needed to read after the grief of this week that kept my mind off of other things. It was something I really enjoyed. So for any of you that are into the history, this is definitely one that you need to have into your collection. And even for those of you that aren't into the history, read it anyway. It's a good story. It's well worth the purchase of the book. So yeah, I guess that's all I've got to say about Valley of the Kings, the 18th Dynasty. Loved it. As soon as I got the money, I'm going to get the other one. But thanks all for listening to me and rant about the book. I'm now going to read one of my magazines, and then I'm going to go into my beta book, and we'll go from there. Have yourself a good weekend.